I stood in the doorway of the small guest room that had been mine for 5 years, clutching a faded floral suitcase that carried the scent of old fabric and quiet nights. At 75, my hands shook not from age. They trembled from the words spoken to me downstairs just moments before. Vanessa Bradford had uttered them while pouring champagne into tall crystal glasses. "We are placing you in a nursing home. You are too old to be useful." She did not soften her tone. She did not pause. She delivered it like discussing the disposal of an old couch. My son Ethan lingered behind her, gazing at the marble floor of the house I had assisted him in purchasing. The same floor I had scrubbed on my knees after the movers tracked in dirt. He avoided my eyes. He did not urge her to halt. "Mom, it is for the best," he mumbled. "You will have peers your age, activities, a pleasant spot." Pleasant spot. Downstairs, laughter echoed. Caterers prepared for their New Year's Eve gathering. Music filled the air. Vanessa had mentioned earlier it would be adults only this year. I now grasped what that implied. It implied me. I had received a sandwich on a paper plate and instructions to eat in my room to avoid interfering. I surveyed that modest space. My late husband's photo on the nightstand. My teaching certificate tucked in a drawer. The quilt my mother had sewn for me. This represented all that remained of a once vibrant life. They no longer desired my presence. And I abruptly realized something far worse. They had already made the choice. I was not being consulted. I was being eliminated. So I secured my suitcase and, for the first time since my husband's death, I selected myself. Before becoming the quiet woman in the spare room, I was somebody. My name was Lillian Bradford. And for 37 years, I served as a kindergarten teacher in a modest public school just beyond the city. I had devoted my life to tying shoes, drying tears, guiding children to read their initial words and trust in themselves. I wed young. My husband passed young. That left me with a young boy and immense responsibility. Ethan was 5 when his father departed. From that instant it was solely us two. I labored full-time days and tutored evenings so he could possess all he required. I prepared his lunches. I aided with homework. I occupied metal folding chairs at every school performance and baseball match. He formed my entire world. When Ethan matured, attended college, and launched his career, my pride in him was uniquely maternal. When he wed Vanessa, I embraced her warmly. I believed I was acquiring a daughter. After my husband's passing, Ethan insisted I should not remain alone. He suggested cohabitation made sense. He and Vanessa were acquiring a large house in Silver Creek Estates, and he inquired if I could sell my modest home to contribute to the down payment. He claimed it would be our shared home, not merely theirs. So I sold it. I provided the funds. I relocated to their guest room. Trusting family equaled security. Initially, matters were acceptable. I cooked. I cleaned. I assisted with the boys when they were small, feeling valuable. Then gradually shifts occurred. Meals turned separate. They dined in the dining room as I ate in my space. Vanessa would entertain friends and request I remain upstairs to prevent embarrassment. My possessions began vanishing. A sweater here, a book there. She claimed they cluttered the house. The boys matured and ceased seeking my hugs. Vanessa labeled me old-fashioned and awkward to them. Ethan grew distant, occupied, perpetually fatigued. I learned to speak softly, tread lightly, occupy less room. Usefulness served as my rent. If I cooked, if I cleaned, if I remained unobtrusive, I could stay. I failed to recognize until that evening how thoroughly I had been erased. One detail Ethan and Vanessa never knew about me existed. One element I had concealed for years, not from greed but instinct. My parents had bequeathed me a small cottage in a town named Maple Ridge upon their passing. It lay 2 hours north, serene and overlooked. I had not visited since their funeral. Life had progressed. Ethan had required me. Then Vanessa had demanded space. So I never disclosed it. Some inner part had sensed even then to retain one item solely mine. One location immune to seizure, redesign, or transformation into something unrecognizable. I also possessed a modest savings account around $3,000 from birthday checks sent by my late sister. A few dollars discreetly set aside from my Social Security. Ethan remained unaware of that too. It was minimal, yet sufficient to begin anew. I packed solely what I could transport. A few garments, my mother's quilt, old photographs, a small wooden box containing my wedding ring, and the final card my husband ever presented. The toughest part was the note. I avoided anything harsh, just the truth. I will no longer burden you. Please refrain from searching for me. I placed it on the bed and exited the house as Vanessa arranged flowers for her event. No one observed my departure. No one attempted to intervene. The bus station stood nearly vacant. Cold fluorescent lights hummed above, rendering every face pale and weary. A digital clock on the wall flashed red numerals. 10:12. The bus to Maple Ridge would depart at 10:47. I settled on a rigid plastic chair with my suitcase at my feet and fixed on the floor. Most folks were home with families on New Year's Eve, laughing, eating, belonging. I never felt so isolated. Initially, I attempted silence. I compressed my lips and urged myself against tears. I had practiced that lifelong. Avoid scenes. Avoid difficulty. Avoid space. But something internal finally shattered. Tears surged swift and intense. My shoulders quaked. My chest ached. I wept not solely for tonight. I wept for years of invisibility. Years of swallowing words. Years of convincing myself it was acceptable provided my son remained content. I continually envisioned Ethan as a young boy. How he once dashed into my arms post-school. How he once declared me the strongest individual he knew. Somewhere that boy had vanished. "Ma'am, are you okay?" I glanced up and spotted a young woman before me. She wore hospital scrubs beneath her coat. Her hair was tied back. Her eyes held kindness. "I am fine," I responded instinctively. It was false. "You appear otherwise. May I sit beside you?" She awaited no reply. She settled next to me as if we shared years of acquaintance. "My name is Mia. I await my bus as well." Something in her tone evoked safety. And once I began speaking, I could not cease. I shared everything about Ethan, about Vanessa, about the nursing home, about being deemed too old for usefulness, about selling my house and providing the money, about solitary meals in my room. I shared about the note, about Maple Ridge, about feeling erased while still breathing. Mia listened. She avoided interruption. She avoided judgment. She merely grasped my hand as I wept. When I concluded, she rose. "I must make a call," she murmured softly. I nodded, lacking full comprehension. She stepped away and spoke urgently into her phone in a hushed tone. "I found her, yes, I am certain. She is at the bus station." My heart leaped. Mia returned and sat beside me once more. "Help approaches," she stated. I lacked understanding of that, but for the first time that evening I felt less utterly alone. I gazed at Mia as she remained beside me, still clasping my hand, as if fearing my vanishing upon release. "What do you imply by help approaching?" I inquired. My voice seemed diminutive even to myself. She smiled gently yet earnestly. I realize this may sound odd, but I must pose a question first. I nodded. "Did you instruct kindergarten long ago?" The query surprised me. "Yes, for nearly 4 decades. Why? Did you once teach a student named Daniel Alvarez?" The name extended back through my recollections like a grasp. I envisioned a modest classroom, tiny desks, crayons strewn across a table. "Daniel. Yes, I recall him. He shone brightly." Mia's eyes brimmed with tears. "He is my father." I could not utter a word. "My father has spoken of you throughout my life," she proceeded. "The teacher who purchased shoes for him when his parents could not. The teacher who made him sense significance." I shook my head gradually. "I merely aided a needy child. You achieved more. You altered his life." Before further queries, the station doors parted. A tall man in a dark coat entered. He scanned rapidly. When his gaze met mine, he halted. For a prolonged instant we merely stared. Then he approached. "Mrs. Bradford," he murmured softly. "It is truly you, Daniel," I whispered. "Little Daniel." He knelt before me as if I remained his teacher. "I have searched for you 45 years. And now, on the evening I nearly vanished, someone I once aided had arrived to locate me." Witnessing Daniel there drew me backward in time unprepared. I abruptly recalled a small boy on the classroom rug, knees to chest, eyes intently on his book, scarcely noticing surroundings. That was Daniel. Quiet, gentle, perpetually striving. His shoes proved too small. I first observed during story time when he removed them and winced replacing. Soles worn thin. Holes in sides. His winter coat matched, scarcely warm for chilly mornings. His parents were immigrants, proud, kind. They toiled long hours, yet money fell short. They never sought aid, not once. Though I discovered another path. I visited a discount store post-school one afternoon and acquired new shoes, then a warm coat. I included notebooks and pencils knowing his need. I paid personally. I lacked wealth but managed. Next day I claimed donations from other families. I said someone possessed extra. I said no big deal. I still recall his gaze at those shoes like golden. Afterward I began packing extra lunch food. I would offer it saying I overmade. He never queried. He simply smiled thanks. I never viewed as charity. I merely thought it what one does seeing needy child. When Daniel completed kindergarten, his family relocated. I never saw him again. Life continued. New pupils arrived, new years elapsed. I never envisioned few small teacher acts would expand into something saving me someday. But here he stood, no longer worn shoe boy, but grown man before me, regarding me like I had bestowed everything anew. Daniel positioned before me as if time folded. I taught thousands, yet he recalled me like classroom departure yesterday. "You lack idea search duration," he stated. "Post-college, post-law school, every milestone I sought you." I smiled sadly. Retired, moved. Sold house. Thought none searching. Never ceased, he said. Inquired district. Hired investigators. Even established small fund your name for needy supplies children. Called Bradford Fund. I pressed hand to chest. Named after me. You altered my life, Lillian. Taught dignity matters, kindness, strength. Mia stepped beside. When saw you crying tonight, she said, knew. Dad shared story 100 times. Had asked. Daniel gazed gently. Mia shared son-wife actions tonight. Shame attempted rise, but he halted one look. None treats you that. Ever. I avoid trouble, whispered. Just sought somewhere go. Then join us, he said. Wife prepares room already. Safe there. I shook head. Avoid burden. Never burden, he affirmed. You reason I became me. Lend me your reason now. Maple Ridge bus arrived station. I viewed flashing lights. First time year's choice and I selected follow once helped boy. Instead dark run. Daniel's home differed cold Silver Creek marble. Warm. Soft lights every window glowed. Front door open pre-reach. Woman's silver-threaded dark hair emerged. Hurried us. This Lillian, she said, hugging. I Sophia. Welcome home. Words unheard years. Inside house-scented real food clean laundry. Not Vanessa's sharp artificial. Children's drawings refrigerator covered. Family photos walls filled. Mia's children room ran Leo Isabel. Stared open curiosity. You teacher saved Grandpa, Leo said. I laughed softly. Just bought shoes. Sophia placed soup bowl before me. Eat. Appear underfed long. Right she was. As ate realized simple powerful. None rushed. None annoyed presence. None requested waste stay. Table Daniel watched carefully. Safe here said. None forces anything again. Tears eyes filled. First time long believed. Later night. Children asleep house quiet. Daniel sat kitchen table me. Lillian gently said. Need discuss important. I nodded hands warm mug wrapped. Ethan Vanessa tonight not merely cruel. Not merely unkind. Not legal. I gazed confused. None places nursing home sans consent unless court deems decision incapable. Alert. Healthy. Fully choose capable liveware. Chest tightened. Then questions. Ethan, add your name house deed when sold home help buy? Unknown. He control bank social security? Yes. Vanessa monitor spend? Daniel noted all. Lillian finally said. Described pattern elder financial emotional abuse. Word abuse Wade. Isolated. Money controlled. Burden feel resist not. Wanted argue son defend. Could not. Daniel met eyes. Not Ethan monster. Saying let someone turn you never were. What want do? Quietly asked. Protect you said. Cannot unless allow. Long breath. First years someone queried want. Want safe. Then do that. Next morning Daniel across me laptop open yellow pad beside. Sending son wife formal letter said. Requests full money accounting. Clear legal counsel represented. Stared blank screen. Felt final. They angry? Asked. Probably calmly said. Anger better control. Type slowly follow every word. Letter firm respectful. Listed given money. Demanded records. Stated pressure harass attempt documented. Slit screen me hands trembled. Reading felt outside life see. All accepted small things suddenly very wrong. Really happening whispered. Taking life back Daniel said. Thought Ethan dandelion bringing boy. Zen said. Daniel clicked just like years trapping silence broken. Phone rang under our post letter. Speaker on nodded me. Ethan's voice sharp tense. Where mother? Daniel calmly. Safe respected people with. Insane Ethan snapped. Cannot take her us. Daniel even. None took. She left. Ethan said explain happening. Leaned forward. No happening. Stood while Vanessa deemed me too old useful. Not meant quick said. Then meant what? Silence. Daniel spoke. Mother agree nursing home? No explain better her. Plan future decide sans consent. Ethan's voice wavered. Trying help. Trying rid me. Said difference. Mom please. Lawyer turning unnecessary. Not turning anything Daniel said. Simply questions. Spoke again. Last time asked happy? Not convenient. Not helpful. Happy. Ethan unanswered. Sold home help. Never name house. Let Vanessa discard things. Let her speak me like absent. Mom sorry weak said. Sorry what? How happened? Not apology said. Daniel call ended gentle firm. 10 business days financial records told Ethan. Further communication office through. Line dead. Sat back shaking but first not silent. 3 months later stood kitchen small Maple Ridge cottage. Watching sunlight new windows through pour. House quiet years pre-Daniel find. Now warm. Fresh walls paint, new appliances, outside garden grow beginning. Woke every morning knowing mine. Started local library volunteer. Children's stories reading twice week. Laughter room filled. Reminded always me. Neighbor baked bread brought. People waved past walk. Daniel Sophia every Sunday came me a children. Leo Isabel Grandma Lillian called. Now aloud. Own bank keys choices. No spare room hiding. Living. Financial records week following arrived. Daniel threw them kitchen table me. Truth painful clear. $65,000 down payment Ethan Vanessa house. But name never deed added. Social security new furniture vacations private tuition used. Never invited enjoy things. Felt foolish trust. Daniel head shook. Not foolish. Loving. Difference. Formal settlement followed. $78,000 returned. Money plus interest. No apology accompanied. No longer needed. First year's future own hands. One quiet Maple Ridge afternoon door knock. Opened Ethan stood. Smaller remembered. Thinner tired. Hi mom soft said. Living room sat speaking not long moment. Vanessa left finally said. House sold. Boys barely me talk. Knew not say. Watched you house disappear said. Told self fine you fine but not. Shrinking us because. Voice broke. Sorry mom. Not how happened what did. Sorry took money not protect. Sorry let wife humiliate. Sorry stood said nothing called useless. Tears face down slid. Forgot you. Forgot raised me. Told teaching now therapy. Listen. Not let anyone small make again. Said no replied. Not ask. Agreed slow take. Left quietly but changed something. Today stand Maple Ridge kitchen. Outlooking garden bloom beginning just. Long time believed love meant endure gave even hurt even disappear made. But learned important. Dignity not earn useful being. Born with. Old not disposable make. Quiet not invisible make. Kind not advantage deserve. Sometimes away put try people afraid you represent. Reminder own failures own loyalty lack. And sometimes smallest ever gave kindness back decades later save need most. Place my what done. Stayed quiet or chosen self. Comments tell watching from where story part stayed you. If story moved please like share needs hear someone. Forget not subscribe first. Revenge more stories strength boundaries quiet justice. Sometimes away throw try people push toward life always meant 10s.